This episode of Another Happy Pod is going to contain spoilers. If you've not experienced the content yourself, please go ahead and do so before coming back and listening to the boys ramble on about it. Thank you very much.
This episode of Another Happy Pod is sponsored by Boars.
They're like pigs, but they'll kill your fucking dog.
Hello and welcome back to Another Happy Pod. There it is.
Oh, okay. That's alright.
We're going for a time-saving one today, Nathan.
Oh, okay.
Truth
Fair
be told,
enough.
I went extremely blank and had nothing to say. We're joined by Nathan James Bauer, who doesn't have a middle name and has therefore adopted the surrogate name of James.
Hello, I'm Nathan James Bauer. I don't have a middle name, and I have adopted the surrogate middle name of James.
I do have a middle name, Nathan. Mine is Thomas.
That's fun, but no one cares. Anyway, so today we are talking about a movie.
We do that here. It's something that we tend to do a lot. But today's movie is actually, Nathan, based on a book. Did you know this?
I did, in the fact that once I watched the movie, in the credits, it said based on the novel, blah, 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 by blah, blah, blah.
Well, that is something we're good at. We're good at watching movies and then deciphering very clear, detailed clues displayed to us in title cards at the end.
Call me a detective.
Well, exactly, yeah. We are talking about Hunt for the Wilder People. I think it's Taika Waititi's third film. I may be wrong. Third or fourth feature-length film.
I have not looked into anything regarding this, so I have no idea, by the way.
So he did a short film, like way back when, to get himself kind of noticed, that kicked off like basically his entire career, because it was like, I think it won an Oscar, which was ridiculous because it was like the first proper thing he'd released, which is fucking mental. That's called Two Cars, One Night. Then I think he did Eagle versus Shark. I think that's the title. Then it was Boy. Then it was Hunt for the Wilder People, and then it was this, I think. So he's pretty well established at this point.
Wait. So it was Hunt for the Wilder People, and then it was this movie that we're talking about here today.
Oh yeah, so it was Hunt for the Wilder People, and then the movie that we're talking about, which is obviously not Hunt for the Wilder. It's Hunt for the Regular People. I don't know.
The sequel.
The sequel, yeah. Hunt for the Normal People.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, he was like pretty well established at this point. So what did you think of it? Because I recommended this to you.
You did. I had not seen it. Or the only thing I knew about it was Taika Waititi, Sam Neill, and Julian Dennison, the kid from Deadpool 2. That was all I knew. Knew nothing about the plot. Didn't watch a trailer. Didn't know anything else really. And I thought this movie was fucking shit.
Oh, you're joking.
I am joking. It's actually really good.
Oh,
I really
thank
enjoyed
God.
it.
Nathan, my heart sunk. I was devastated for a second. Oh my God, no.
No, it is really good. I actually did quite enjoy this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting into it because it was quite a surprise. I mean, I knew it was going to be good because it's Taika Waititi. And granted, my Taika Waititi experience is limited. It's Thor, the Star Wars episode he did, a little bit of that vampire movie and TV show, and that's pretty much it, to be honest.
I've seen everything he's done apart from Eagle versus Shark.
Okay.
Yeah, so and to be fair, right, there's something this when I watched it for the first time ages ago. I obviously rewatched it for this, and kind of remembered how much I do love it. Basically, I wasn't expecting anything big. I'd heard it was funny, and this was after I'd seen Thor Ragnarok, so I was a bit like, oh, okay, this will be a good time. I wasn't expecting it to kind of be as good as it was and have like as much kind of like heart as it had. Which is something that, looking back, because I watched, this was the first kind of, once I saw Thor, I watched this, and then I went, oh, now I've got to watch everything this guy's done. Just because I was like, fuck, I really liked it.
Hold on, I think someone's knocking on my door. Hold on.
Oh.
Just 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to do as little editing as possible on this. So while Nathan goes to the door, I'm going to give you a fun bit of trivia that you probably didn't know. So, Ricky Baker does not believe that Uncle Hec's use of majestical is correct in the film. The word majestical was used by William Shakespeare and appears in Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 1, when Marcellus refers to the departing ghost's appearance. "'Tis gone, we do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it show of violence, for it is as the air invulnerable, and our vein blows malicious mockery." So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. Just filling out the time. Don't mind me at all. Nathan, you're back.
Yeah, I am. I heard you the entire way. That was great.
I'm glad you're back. I really ran out of trivia there.
That was great. You really are getting lazy with this editing.
Nathan, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't get paid to do this, therefore we record it, I spend a maximum 30 minutes on it, and then it's out. That's just the way it goes.
Well, there you are.
Yeah, well, good to know I've got effort. Was there a man at your door? We're all waiting in suspense.
No, there wasn't.
Was there a woman at your door?
There was no one at my door.
Interesting. Okay. So it was a mystery.
Yeah, it was a mystery.
Okay.
Carry on.
All right. So yeah, I went back and rewatched everything that he made after watching this. And one thing that Taika Waititi does so well, and it's actually basically was the main kind of critical response to his short film, The Two Cars and One Night, that won an Oscar that I said about. He's just so good at, one, using music in his films, but not in like the pretentious way that Tarantino does a lot of the time, but in a way that genuinely kind of like elevates the plot and not just for like a cool moment. And also like just human interaction. He does it so well, and that's because 90% of what he films is normally just complete improv, or at least was in some of his earlier films. Not so much Thor, obviously, because big studios. And that was that.
There was nothing else to that?
No, there's
big studios.
Just big studios, Nathan. It's true.
Okay. From what I understand, there was quite a bit of improv on Thor.
Yeah, there's some, but like little things, like for example, the plot of What We Do in the Shadows was literally wrote. I think they filmed like something fucking ridiculous, like over 100 hours of footage of just improv, and then they had to cut it down to make a plot from it. They had like touching points and like talking points and stuff like that, but basically all of the dialogue was completely improv. So going from that, I'd say if his strong suit's in improv, Thor probably felt quite restrictive at a first kind of touch, but obviously, you know, you do have to work with the script for a lot of films, so I'm sure he got over it. Yeah,
I'm sure it was fine.
Yeah, well, so I'd hope so. So yeah, what ultimately, like, because if knowing nothing, what was your like first reaction to it? I guess because this is a weird film.
It is a weird film. I was kind of expecting a little bit of weird though, just because it's Taika, and that's what you get with him. Yeah, so Julian Dennison I knew from Deadpool, and he's great. He's a great actor, so I was looking forward to seeing him. Sam Neill is obviously great. Jurassic Park, most notably.
He's like a national treasure in New Zealand, isn't he?
He's a national treasure all over the world, to be honest. He's great. So yeah, I loved him. One thing, so it started off and I was really suspicious. First of all, I'm just going to say I had anxiety the entire way through this movie, and that was because of Tupac. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. His dog is called Tupac. First of all, a great name for a dog. Second of all, there's just so many scenes, just so many moments where they're just walking through the bush, through the wilderness, and Tupac just isn't there. But then suddenly he is.
Yeah.
And then all the time I was just like, where the fuck is Tupac? And it just gave me so much anxiety all the time.
And because there's quite a lot of like cuts in time as well. So like, I suppose every line you're waiting on, like, it just cuts in. They go, it's a shame Tupac died yesterday.
Exactly. I thought something like that was going to happen. But Tupac was around till the end, which is good.
Yeah.
Zag, unfortunately, not so much. But we'll get into that. Now... Yeah, so when it first started, I was very suspicious because it got too wholesome too quick. And I was like, something's going to go wrong here. Because he's at the new family, He's settling in. Aunt seems very, very lovely lady, and he seems to really have bonded with her. Uncle, a little bit distant. Sam Neill, a little bit gruff, but potentially warming up. There might be something there. He's enjoying that life, and this could be a new start for this kid. Yeah. And I was like, no, something's fucking gonna go. We're 20 minutes into the movie. Like, something has to fucking go wrong here.
Of course, yeah.
And then, of course, it did, being that Aunt died. I'm assuming had a heart attack or something.
Oh, because you didn't even, like, in the trailers, obviously, it gives all that away, because that's the plot of the movie. So you must have been thinking this movie's just about Ricky settling into his new family.
At first I did, yeah.
Because
I never watched the trailer, didn't see anything like that, so I'm glad I didn't, first of all. But yeah, didn't know that was coming at all. So it was a bit of a shock just to see Sam Neill there wailing over her body. Like, at first I thought it was the dog or something.
Yeah.
Because I didn't quite see her body at first, and then like it came into view, and I was like, okay.
One of the things I love about that is that they just don't explain it. It's just like,
she died.
You kind of just have to believe that she like had a heart attack, stroke, whatever. Like, and she's just dead now. Because in Sam Neill, but Uncle Heck, his character's called, is like just so. Oh man, his performance in that scene, I don't even think you see his face like all that much.
No, it is quite distant.
Yeah, that scream is just it's horrible to hear.
It is, it really is, and like he is from what you see at him up until that point in the movie, he is quite distant and quite reserved and a little gruff and everything like that. But it's clear that he did love his wife. It's clear that they had a good relationship together. And then obviously it is pretty heartbreaking when he loses her, and then just immediately slaps you in the face with Taika as a priest comic relief. So
yeah. Do you know? There's
why not?
Fun fact about that is that they filmed it, and then as soon as they'd literally wrapped that scene, Taika Waititi turned around to the cast and apparently said, he's never confirmed this, but according to a few like extras that have said this, apparently Taika Waititi turned around and went, well, that's never going in the fucking movie, let's be honest. And then apparently in the edit they slapped it in, and they must have just gone, oh, this really works. Because with a funny comedy like this film, there's basically almost virtually no serious moments to it, or at least when there is, it's very quickly undercut by a joke. So you don't, I suppose, as the filmmaker, you don't want to trick your audience and make them go, oh, no, this is really sad. You want them to be like, no, this is still fun, but shit happens. Yeah.
I think there is serious moments in it. There's definitely heartwarming moments and sad moments and everything like that. There's emotion throughout it. I think, it is. It's just, I think Taika is just someone who naturally just has that. I don't know the words to describe. He's very, very comical. Like, you see any interview he does, he's just always fucking hilarious. It's clearly difficult for him. Not difficult, because he can do just straight-laced and he can do something like that, but it's clearly more his style to do something very comedic and wacky and funny and out there, and it absolutely works for him as well.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's definitely his strong suit. So like he should do that. He should definitely lean more. That's why Thor Ragnarok it's such a fucking weird movie, especially if you just look at the Thor trilogy. It's just just takes such a hard fucking left turn, that trilogy.
It really
at one
does.
point.
Yeah.
It's so like, oh brother Shakespeare, here, there, and they're like, all right there, pals, how's it going? You? So we're gonna do a little fucking revolution,
mate. It's literally it reinvented the entire character, and to be honest, right, there's a reason that he's the only character so far that Marvel are giving a fourth film to, because normally they do like the main Avengers little trilogies, unless you're Hawkeye or Black Widow, obviously, in which case you get nothing.
But Black Widow's getting a movie.
Well, yeah, but in the next 5 years.
She should have last May. It's now currently March, and we still don't know if it's going to be released. We don't. There's
not even a date. Like the film spent so much on marketing for that, and then now they're going to just have to spend it all again. It's tragic.
It's still currently set at May. I mean, this is completely irrelevant to what we're talking about, but it is still currently set at May.
Yeah.
But are they going to make that? We don't know.
Nah, definitely not. But no, I think you're right in the sense that, like, this is absolutely. It leads me back to my point. This is absolutely what Taika Waititi does best. Like, one thing that goes throughout his like most of his films as well is he's got how do I say this without you making a joke? An affection for children. Now, I'd like to stress Taika Waititi is not a paedophile, but it's one thing that he said, like, works really well, like, kind of like the childlike wonder in like the heartwarming scenes. He's like 90% of his films just have a child as a protagonist,
Yeah.
which is great. And to be fair, I think he does that best in Boy, which is another movie I think you should watch, but we'll probably save it for another pod episode. But yes, right. So they get into they get into the bush. What did you think? Like post the death of Heck's wife. What did you think?
So I liked it, obviously. One thing I'm absolutely a sucker for is the trope of the gruff, reluctant dad. It's I don't know why I like it, but I do. The gruff, reluctant dad slowly warming up to their kid, whether that be a surrogate kid, an actual kid, whatever. That trope, fucking give me that trope all day long, okay? The Last of Us, The Mandalorian, this, I fucking love it so much. And Sam Neill is really good at that, especially now that he's older and grizzled and everything like that.
Yeah.
In this movie, it really works well, because you just spend so much time, like the entire time he's calling him uncle, and he keeps saying, don't call me that, don't call me that, don't call me that, and you just want him to accept it. You just want them to form that relationship, and you can see there are moments where he does warm up to him and he has a little secret smile and everything like that, and it is great, and you relish those moments, but you just want more. You want him to open up more and just accept that kid as his own, which in the end he kind of does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really do enjoy that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, that it is definitely, it's a trope you see a lot. Like Logan had it, like you said, The Last of Us. It's very, I mean, I suppose it's a trope because it's effective, right? Like people want to see that kind of stuff.
I think the reason people like it is because everyone has difficult relationships with their father, so it's just everyone projecting daddy issues onto
very true. Yeah,
the movie, the game, whatever.
Yeah,
but it is such a good trope, and it is something I could eat up all day long. So I'm always down to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did definitely worked well. It was, for me, the strongest part of the movie, aside from like Taika's writing and everything like that. There's like quite a lot of, well, I say quite a lot, a few people who are like shown up in other Taika movies, like the family services lady. She's
she's in Ragnarok, isn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, she's like Grandmaster's like guard or whatever.
I think she is called Rachel House by the look of the IMDb, but I might be looking at the wrong lady. I'm pretty sure it's Rachel House. Yeah, she's her and the fella that plays Andy, who's called Oscar Knightley. They're so funny, and there's an amazing moment where Andy goes, "We're looking for these people. They're dead or alive," and then you just see him kind of turn off. The camera stays on him, and he goes, "Oh, alive. They should be alive." It's just so good.
He is great.
But they both just, I like the fact that they're in like child protection services, and this is clearly the most interesting thing to happen in their entire career, because they both, well, not less so Andy, but Paula
more her.
Yeah, she just gets so into it. And then in the trailer there's a hilarious exchange that you will have seen, but it's edited a bit tighter in the trailer, so it's even funnier somehow. When they have the argument about who's more like the Terminator and who's more like Sarah Connor.
I loved that. That was great.
It's the joke where it's like, yeah, you're more like Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 when she can do chin-ups. Which is fun. It's just so ridiculous. But yeah, did you like kind of how quickly the plot took off? Because like you said, 20 minutes in, it completely turns into a different movie. And then all of a sudden it's like it goes from two guys just kind of being out in the bush, kind of just exploring, having their own little camping trip, and then very quickly they're criminals.
Yeah, I did like it. I was quite surprised because it was a bit of a sharp turn. Like
Yeah.
it did go from 0 to 100 quite quick. Because you're right, there was just having a little stroll along, and then suddenly they have the entire fucking country.
Yeah, a national
looking
fucking
for-
manhunt. It goes on.
Yeah. Exactly. Which, okay, fair enough. It's New Zealand, so it's like 4 people, but still, I mean, sorry to any New Zealand listeners.
Yeah, so you're more than 4 people.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah, no. I to be honest, right, when I first saw this, and I still kind of have the same opinion now. I do think it's one of the weaker moments that's written in, because there is literally one line that explains it, and if you miss that line, and because the line comes in quite a hectic scene as well, when like there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of sound effects, background noise. If you miss that
Yeah.
line, for the rest of the movie, you're going to be going, why don't they just literally just go down the hill and be like, we're fine. He's fine. And the line that explains, for anyone that hasn't seen it, if you haven't, why the fuck are you listening to this? but,
Yeah,
but
why are you?
yeah, for anyone that hasn't seen it, they the line is they go, oh, like basically Ricky just says what I just said. Why can't we just go and be like, no, we're cool? And he went to he was in prison for I think like a year or 2. I think he said for manslaughter, and that basically another offence like this is going to mean that the police just automatically kind of assume, or he'll like basically if it was left to a jury, the jury would decide to like basically put him in jail again, because it, no matter what was said, it just looked like an abduction, which kind of shafts him. But then I feel like both of the characters are just fucking all too happy to just crack on, like we're fugitives now. It's absolutely fine.
I mean, with Ricky, it kind of makes sense though, because like he is, he's a troubled kid. You know, he grew up in the city, lots of like crime and pay theft and all that kind of shit. So with him, it makes sense that this sort of thing would excite him. For Uncle Heck, it's not that he's happy to. I mean, he is kind of happy to do it, but it's more like, what other option does he have, really?
Yeah.
His leg's fucked. He can't go home. There's not really a home for him to go back to at that point. So, like, what else can he do apart from just see this through, really? So,
And to be fair, I think that's like the strength of the movie, because like you said, for Ricky it's fun and it's exciting,
Yeah.
because you're seeing it from the perspective of a child who doesn't really understand that he could fuck his life massively like this.
Yeah.
And then from Uncle Hector's like point of view, it's kind of just like, it's like you see it as an adult, you go, oh, that's just kind of sad that like one, he doesn't want to go back home, and 2, he's kind of like you say, he's very quick to go, oh well, this is what it is, let's crack on.
Yeah.
And he's frustrated, but then he just kind of like, you kind of start to see him in his element, and yeah, he starts to I think enjoy it more so. And when it comes to an end, and like the ending of the film, he almost kind of, yes, he's the person that kind of instigates the end and goes, look, this has got to stop eventually, but you get the impression that he wouldn't have stopped, because he was fully about to run from them more, and it was only when they were literally like fucking tanks on top of them that he went, all right, now is the time to call it a day.
it's definitely. I think it is definitely the case that he was enjoying it, and like for the last however many years, most of his life has just been living on the farm with Bella, which he would have liked, but I think this is just like kind of just a little bit of excitement in his life, really, just the most fun thing that's happened. Yeah, he'll act all, you know, gruff and dad and pissed off and not enjoying it all and everything like that. But, you know, secretly he does have that little smile secretly. I think he is kind of just enjoying being out in nature, out in the bush with his surrogate son. So, yeah.
Now, one thing I did want to touch on, I was at work today and I got a text from Nathan that seemed very random. And the text just read, "Oh, fuck you." Now, I'm of the impression this is when Zag the dog got eaten by a boar.
He didn't get eaten.
Well,
Okay.
basically, he got many lumps taken out of him.
He got stabbed. Okay. But yeah, you're right. That's exactly when that happened.
Fucking knew it. I knew it.
You're 100% right. Yeah. So one thing I cannot stand is dogs dying in movies. It just fucks me up. I hate it. People, yeah, fucking kill them all day long. Does not affect me. Dogs dying in movies, I cannot handle it. I cry every single time. That's why usually whenever I'm watching a new movie and there's a dog in it, I go to a website. This is a real website called doesthedogdie.com.
You're joking.
No, that's a genuine thing.
Oh, no.
And you can like type in any movie and they will just flat out tell you if the dog dies or if the dog doesn't die in it. Didn't think to do it this time. It is, and it's a great website. I highly recommend it to anyone who's just fucking weird like me. Yeah, so I didn't use it this time. For some reason, I didn't think to. Wishing now that I did, so I could have been prepared.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Zach died. It was very, very sad. As soon as the boar just, like, lunged towards him, I was like, oh, no, please, please, please. But... Yeah, it happened. And then the boar chased Tupac, and again, there was that anxiety. I was like, if Tupac dies too, I will fucking kill myself. I cannot handle this.
Yeah, when I first watched it, when Zach died, I was like, oh, that's sad. And then when it chased after Tupac, I went, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm fragile right now.
Fortunately, that wasn't the case. Tupac, like, outrun him or whatever. And everything like that. But again, it was just so fucking sad for Heck, because that was literally the only family, the only thing he had left.
Yeah.
He lost his home, he's lost his wife, he's come out here with a backpack, a rifle, and his dog, and now the dog is dead. And like, what else does he have of his old life?
People say that the dog scene in I Am Legend is the saddest dog scene. I would argue that this is a lot sadder, to be fair.
It is very sad, especially when he like takes the rifle and just tells the kid to look away.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the fact that both the dogs are listed in the credits as well.
Yeah, I did. I really liked that. What do you call it? I watched this on Amazon Prime, and if you pause it, they give you the credit of like the scene. And I think one of them is called like Tilly or something, which is lovely.
I think Tupac is called Tuss or something.
Oh, okay, it might be that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was all, because you're right. Yeah, on Amazon Prime, if you like pause it, it tells you who's in this scene.
Yeah,
it'll say like
dogs' names.
Yeah, it'll say like Julian Dennison, and then it'll say Tupac as played by Tuss.
Yeah.
So yeah, first of all, the name Tupac as well. Great name for a dog.
Yeah, and they use it as well. There's a great moment in this where he goes. Where Ricky goes, come on Tupac, he barks, like he goes woof, and then Ricky just goes yeah. It's one of them throwaway moments that was probably improv or like suggested on the day, and it's that like attention to detail that one makes Ricky more believable as a character, and two, it's just it's a great little throwaway joke. Like it's just something
absolutely.
to laugh at.
And the moment as well which really made me laugh is when he was just talking to Bella about the names for the dog, and then he said Tupac, and she was asking him about who that is, and he said he's a rapper and he's my best friend or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That really made me laugh a lot.
To be fair, a lot of Ricky's dialogue in this is just hilarious. He's very good.
It is.
One of my favourite jokes is the travelling with a Caucasian? Well, they got that wrong because you're obviously white. It's so good.
That made me laugh so much. Yeah.
Speaking of the credits, there's a great little Easter egg in this, and you don't notice it until you do. Basically, every single police officer or like law person in this, not including like Paula and Andy, because they even make the joke that Andy's not a real policeman. And then later on they say like, "Where's your taser?" and it's been booked by someone else.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
Again, New Zealand, 4 people. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been booked as somewhere in like Welling or whatever he says.
Oh shit! No. I hung up on Lawrence. Fuck.
Hung up on me.
Let me call him back.
Wellington.
Yeah. Lawrence in the edit. I'm sorry.
Wellington.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I hung up.
Wait, what? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I accidentally hung up.
Fuck it, that's one more edit, Nathan. Thanks a lot.
No, just leave it in. I said I'm sorry into the mic.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just cut the space. And I guess now all of this. Well done, Lawrence. Right, yeah. So there's a great moment in this. Well, not so much a moment, but more of like an Easter egg. Every single like law enforcement character, not including Andy and Paula, none of them have names, and they're all credited as just like law enforcement, police officer, army man, whatever, right? Apart from one person who has the full credit of being called Gavin. There's no reason for this whatsoever. There's no reason why he is the only, because he doesn't have a line. He's like in a background scene, right? So I would love to believe that Taika Waititi has just gone on this and just made all of them police officer 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just made one called Gavin, which I think is great.
That's so weird. There has to be a reason for that.
There must be, and I'm like, the only thing I'm thinking is if someone in the background like mouths Gavin or something, like there must be a reason for it, but it's just such a little
maybe there was
thing.
a deleted scene or something at one point.
Maybe, but we'll I'll find out. The ending. Now I haven't asked you about it, and I have an opinion, and it's actually somewhat of a general consensus. So I'm kind of interested to hear what you thought of the ending as a whole.
Okay. I don't know, it's difficult. It was a bit harsh, I thought, because like, I mean, there was no other way for it to end, really. Like they couldn't have got away with this. So they just couldn't. It would not have been possible. I would have loved them to have got away with this and just like carried on living with possibly Psycho Sam in the hills or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would have been possible. I think the most likely scenario would be that they get caught, they get split up, and then Ricky... Is it Ricky?
Ricky, yeah. Julian Dennison, yeah.
Ricky, yeah. Ricky has to go live with another family, which in this case is that nice family he met earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they kind of like reconcile and he gets to come with them to the new farm and everything like that. But yeah, I don't know really. What's the general consensus? I'm quite interested.
So basically, everyone agrees that this is almost like a universally perfect film, but
yeah,
the general consensus is that the ending, for a film that's been so like wonderful, weird, and like random, people think that the ending is too grounded in reality. Which one, I don't mind. I don't mind the concept of it being kind of the snap back to reality kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I, like a lot of other people, think that some of the motivation to basically, to cut it short, when Ricky shouts out that he was like, basically he shouts out like just in retaliation and anger, he goes, "He's molesting me."
He's molestering me.
He's molestering me is the actual thing. That kind of just fucks Heck and basically undoes a lot of the work that they've done, because ultimately, right, he becomes the reason that like he kind of just gets locked up. Not locked up,
yeah.
But well, he I know he had to have his court case kind of thing, and we don't know how long that was. I don't think the movie explicitly says. But then he's still kind of put in this kind of correction facility kind of thing. And kind of made to live a life that he clearly fucking would despise just from everything you already know about the character. Whilst Ricky, who is the person that kind of like, although he's a kid, obviously, and he can't really be blamed for all of it, he kind of gets to go off and have the life that he kind of wanted to. Like, have a nice, loving family that, like, actually, like, respect him, like him, idolize him to an extent. But Heck is kind of just gets nothing.
But then isn't that exactly why he goes to Heck, though, and asks him to come and join him, join them on the farm? Because he doesn't have to.
No, and he does go to apologise. He does go to apologise for that.
But clearly he wants Heck to be there. Clearly he wants Uncle to be a part of his life going forward.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think, like, I don't know. I'm just of the opinion that I don't think he got the just ending kind of thing. I don't think Heck got it. And I know that's more realistic, and I know it's definitely probably what would happen, if not probably a lot worse.
Yeah.
But it just felt a bit... I don't know, maybe... I don't want to say it was like Sam Neill's performance, but the ending didn't seem to satisfy him, and I couldn't... Like, I was a bit like, oh, he doesn't seem happy about this at all. I know they go and discover that bird together and he looks like he's having a great time, but I feel like after that point he's got to go back to that kind of like almost like a nursing home, and with no one that he actually cares about there. And it's not like...
But that's not his ending, though. But his ending is going to the farm with Ricky and having that life and exploring the bush with his now surrogate son. Yeah, I think if it had just ended with him at the nursing home, then yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But the fact that Ricky comes and asks him to join him...
But then he has to go back there, though, right? Like,
I didn't see it like that at all. Okay. I saw it as him moving out there. Because he said he's going to get his toothbrush.
That's a good point, I guess, yeah.
Why would he get his toothbrush if he was coming back?
Maybe they're just going to go and just repeat the entire thing again. Just another national manhunt for him. No, fair enough. I just because I read into it yesterday, because I had that thought and I wanted to see if like I was being an idiot. And people do say the same, that the ending kind of is unnecessarily harsh on Uncle Heck. But yeah, no, I guess because I never saw it in that way. I was under the impression that he'd be coming back and like kind of just have to almost not like live two lives, but have his time with Ricky. But then when that time isn't there, he just kind of has to fucking sit by himself in some like old nursing home kind of thing.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I didn't get that impression at all. Like for me, it was 100% Ricky asking him to come and live with them. That's what I got from it. I mean, I could be wrong, but
can you imagine Heck living with that bloke? That sounds great.
Hey man, can I get a selfie?
Yeah. No, I like...
You want a sausage?
Yeah, little sausage. What do you think? No, yeah, okay, fair enough. Then that's interesting that you think that. Yeah, no, overall, like being completely honest, I love this film. I think it's got so much fucking heart, and there's something that Taika Waititi does, like I said earlier, with his music, and it's just the soundtrack and score in this is fucking great anyway.
Yeah.
But there's the song. I don't know if you heard it, and I definitely didn't the first time I watched it, so I'm interested to hear if you did. The song "Skuck's Life." It plays when they're basically the big car chase at the end, which by the way is ridiculous. That entire car chase ridiculous. Is just fucking obscene. It's like on the last day of shooting, they got heard that there was like an extra $1 million in the budget. And then they went, oh, okay, sick, we'll just do a car chase. Like, it works and it's perfect, but it's very weird.
Up until that point, they had to put most of the budget into the CGI boar, so then...
yeah, exactly. Mate, no, the CGI boar, the boar is CGI, but it's actually it's part CGI and mostly costume operated by two blokes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so the only thing they really CGI'd was the face and when it was running.
Oh.
Yeah, but a lot of the side-on shots are just two blokes, which is great. Yeah, literally, like costume horses, like where someone is the front two legs, and then the person's like bent over is like the arse and the other legs. It's like that.
I never understood those costumes because I think the person at the back always gets like a bad deal because you're just bent over the entire night, and like that's got to be torture on your back.
Yeah, I've got a couple of mates that did it at a Halloween party. I think you were there actually, weren't you?
I was. Yeah. I remember Ben, wasn't it? It was Ben and Will.
Ben and Will, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they shout out to Ben and Will, an extremely gay horse. But they Yeah, no,
A unicorn, I believe it's called.
yes. So they were. I think whoever was on the arse end just basically like they came in, made their entrance, and then they went, "Nah, I'm not doing this for the rest of the night. Fuck this."
Yeah. Which is absolutely fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you've made the big entrance, then it's you know you can take that off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the song "Skux Life." But I don't know who had this genius idea, and I can't remember the composer's name. But basically, all of the lyrics to that, and you can't really tell because it's kind of got like a faded effect on the audio. All of the lyrics is lines, or most of them, sorry, are lines from Ricky's character throughout the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So at one point, it just goes majestical. And then like one of the chorus lines is "We are on the run forever," something like that, and it's really weird. But yeah, listen, if you watch the end scene again, and you'll hear it, and once you've heard it, you can't unhear it. And
I'll watch that. Yeah.
And it's a really weird choice that they've made, but it works so well.
One moment I loved during that end car chase sequence is the moment where the car turns around and he's just driving past the child services lady. I forget her name. But it like goes in slow motion with those two just looking at each other, and then like in a classic scene like that, you would expect like Ricky's character to just give her the middle finger as he drives past.
Yeah.
But instead he just waves at her, just like his pure childlike innocence. He just waves as they drive past.
It is great. Like it's because it does kind of subvert a few tropes like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remembered that actually. Yeah, there's the side characters like the I genuinely think it's one of my favourite scenes. And I don't know if that's because it's well written, well improved, or there's just like 5 New Zealanders in a room. But because there's something about the New Zealand accent that just heightens comedy. I don't know what it is.
It really does.
It complements like little throwaway jokes so well. It's like the Scottish accent does that really well as well. But it's when they get caught it's when Heck and Ricky get caught in the cabin. And he comes in, he goes, "Oh, what's going on in here? Then bit of molestering or something like that." and it's just so like, just the improv in it. Like, was it the moment where he's like, "Go on, call me." He's like, "Oh no, this guy's a pervert," or something like that. It's brilliant. But yeah, what did you think of that scene? Because I think it's genuinely one of my favourites.
It was a good scene. The only really thing about it is I spent a lot of this movie wondering how New Zealand worked. Just because, like, are there just, like, hunting lodges in New Zealand where you can just go and, like, take the food and just sleep there? Is that just, like, a thing?
I wondered that. I thought it was like a communal hut kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, just like a communal hunting lodge.
just a village hall.
Yeah, which is weird, but
and well stocked as well.
Yeah, very well stocked. Yeah, make yourself some beans, use the kitchen. I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah, come in, have a sit down, have a rest.
But yeah, no, I did enjoy that scene, and they all played off each other. Great. Just what I did like is just the childlike innocence of just Ricky telling them like what had happened, and just it all making it sound like obviously
saying like my hands were so soft or something like that.
It got hard and then it got soft. Yeah. that was just very fun. And then late, and he's like, "Think about what you just said. How did that sound?" And he's like, "Oh, bugger."
yeah. No, he's great. There's certain moments in this where like, because they introduce firstly the introduction to the character of Ricky is so good with the whole was it he's been arrested for spitting, running away. like it goes from like fucking something stupid like arson to then like graffiti and like spitting, running away, and that's a great little montage anyway. I like it when things are well directed like that because they don't change shots of him running away. He just spits and then runs.
Taika does a great little montage as well, and there was one montage which I don't know if you know this, but I get the sense that it was like 3/4 away through the movie, I guess, and it was like just as winter was coming, and there was just that panning shot where the camera was constantly panning around in a circle, and it was just like everyone in like different parts, like there was at the campfire, then they was walking away, and then like the police showed up and everything like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I get the sense that was done in one shot. I don't know for certain, but for some reason it just seems like it would have been done in one shot, because like there was a moment where you see Sam Neill, and then it's obviously moved on to the next part, and you see Ricky, and then walking away with Sam Neill, but he's got his like hood up, and you can't see his face, so I'm assuming like it was done with a double, and it was all done in one shot, which if it is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot, to be fair, in this movie, there's a lot of impressive little filmmaking stuff, because this was made when Taika Waititi, one, wasn't a big name, and two, probably didn't have much of a budget for this. Especially given, like, if you look at the majority of the setting, like, we even joked like the entire budget definitely went on that car sequence.
2.5 million USD.
Yeah, which don't get me wrong,
in terms of movie making, it's fuck all.
Yeah, if someone would have handed me that, I wouldn't be annoyed. But at the same time, yeah, if you're making a film, that's nothing. Bearing in mind, Sam Neill was quite a big name to pay as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And but I don't know who knows how much he took for this or what, but
made 23.2 million. So
damn,
tidy profit there.
That's already a chunk of the budget. Damn, fucking hell, that's a big profit.
It is a big profit.
Bloody hell, yeah, well done. Yeah, got him. But that's technically a box office flop in terms of how much it made, but the profit.
Not really. No. It's if you compare it to like Marvel and Star Wars, yeah, of course. But the fact that it cost 2.5 million and it made what 4, 5, 6 times, I'm bad at maths, but quite a lot times that amount.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It didn't make a shit ton of movie money, but it made like that to get that kind of return on that budget is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. This
was also one of the what was it? I read somewhere that in New Zealand this was one of the first what was it? The first like local films that basically a load of word of mouth was like mostly the advertising budget in New Zealand for this.
Okay.
Because of the fact that when people went out and saw it, they just went out and told people. And right, this is how cute. Again, sorry, there is only like 4 people in New Zealand, but apparently on its opening night, it attracted a line of people to go and see it, like an actual physical like line outside of the cinema. So, so a load of friendly New Zealanders walked up and were obviously like, "Hey, what's this, mate? What's this line a bit?" And they were like, "Oh, it's this great new film."
Oh, it's a movie.
Yeah, and they went, "Oh, great!" And then that was the majority of like the word of mouth advertising, which is ridiculous.
New Zealand just seems like such a wholesome country, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah, I'm sure there's stuff. I'm sure there's bad stuff in New Zealand. If you're from New Zealand,
there definitely is. If you look into it, there's definitely like a lot of like racism stuff with like Maori tribe and everything like that.
Yeah.
But like on the surface, anyway, it seems very wholesome.
The Hollywood New Zealand we know and love,
yeah,
which, as we know, is obviously the
it...
truest depiction of a place.
I'm just looking at like the budget for Taika Waititi movies here, and it's very funny because it goes, What We Do in the Shadows, 1.6 million, Hunt for the Wilder People, 2.5 million, Thor Ragnarok, 180 million.
It's ridiculous.
Like, it's quite a jump, my friend.
What do you do with that increase? Like, I reckon Taika Waititi sat there thinking, I could make 200 fucking What We Do in the Shadows for this. Like, yeah.
One quick thing I want to finish on. One joke in this movie, which I thought was hilarious, is the moment where they're on the run from the police have like seen them, and they're on the run from the police through the woods, and then they're hiding like behind a bush or something. They're just hiding as the police are walking past, and Julian's just like mouthing something to Uncle Heck, and he can't understand him. And he does it again, but he like uses his finger this time. He like makes a little ring with his finger and puts his finger through it, and he goes, and then once the police have gone, he says, "Saying it's like in Lord of the Rings."
yeah. Just such a ridiculous thing to want to say at that moment.
Yeah,
but it's true. Yeah,
and such a fucking New Zealand thing to say as well. I think because I don't think anyone loves Lord of the Rings like New Zealand does, because those guys those guys go mad for those. If you just right now Google pictures of New Zealand airport, like just type in Lord of the Rings New Zealand
I'm
airport.
doing it now. I'm doing it.
Do it right now.
Fuck. What the fuck am I expecting to see? Oh my lord. Oh my lord. That's fucking obscene.
You see that big fucking
I
Gollum?
see that big fuck. Right, for people that obviously can't see this because this is a podcast, I've just searched that, and there is an enormous statue of Gollum, like
Just hanging from the ceiling.
like a fucking. When I say a statue, I mean a bigger than you've ever fucking seen statue.
And then there's like ones of Gandalf riding
No, mate.
eagles.
What's weirder is that there's also a suspended fish near Gollum that he's reaching out to
yeah,
grab.
he's hunting fish. There's quite a few of them. Yeah.
But Nathan, I have a question for you.
No. I refuse.
No, okay, nice. Nathan's going to end the pod on a sour note, it seems.
No, I refuse to do that dumb rating system. But what I will say is this was a very good movie, quite surprising. Really enjoyed the performances. Really enjoyed that reluctant father trope once again. So for me, I will give this 8 balls out of 10.
8 balls out of 10. Okay, I'm going to give this a 9 balls out of 10. I do really like this film.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's just such a little heartwarming thing to put on. Like, and
Yeah.
it's a short movie as well. It's not too long. It's quite nice to just
It is very breezy.
Yeah. And
Like
it's-
1 hour 40 or something.
something like that. Yeah, it's very quick, very nice to just kind of have on, just to feel great kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Absolutely.
That's my bloody review.
Subscribe, maybe follow fuck all that.
Do
shit.
that shit.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're
do
not
that.
going to leave
Do
until you
that.
do it. We're going to sit here now. Take your
Yeah, I'll wait.
phone out. Go to
I'll wait.
Instagram or Twitter. You can
At another happy pod.
type that in. Now you're going to be presented
Yeah.
with maybe a few little options. Will be the one with the 2 pictures of 2 men's faces, which are nothing to do with Apple memojis.
Yeah,
and if-
please don't sue us, Tim Cook.
Yeah, and if you try it, we'll deny this ever happened.
Yeah.
And click on that. Click follow. Maybe like a few posts for good measure.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, yeah, fuck it. Actually, I was meant to say this last week. Give us a 5-star review. Our podcast is dying.
Yeah.
we need a review to
Yeah,
pick
give
us
us-
up.
I mean, we'll do it regardless. We'll do it if it's dead in the cold ground and it's just us. But we'll still, it can help
Nice to
have a 5-star review. So please do that. Leave a little comment, and let us know what you want to listen to, or just fuck off. All right, go away.
Or just tell us how soothing our voices are for you to put on when you go to sleep.
Yeah, very, very soothing. Would you rather listen to guided meditation, or would you rather listen to these two?
I can do that
cunts?
because we've both got nice microphones, so we could talk really closely into the microphone.
I know about you, but I love Rode microphones.
I love Rode microphones, as my sticker suggests. Anyway, sorry for wasting everyone's time. We're gonna go. Ciao.
Another happy pod.
Another happy pod.